Episode 400. Welcome back, the Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire. We are reporting for the nation. I go by the name of Diamond K. Thank you for joining me. Radio on Fire provides the best in breaking news, entertainment, and political stories that matter to you from an independent point of view. And I am here weekdays giving you my thoughts and the news because I know that many people are tired of mainstream media spinning stories, lying about stories. I'm going to give you the facts, I'm going to give you the news, but I'm also going to give you my opinion on these same stories. So, as I said, it's episode 400 of the program. The Bernie Sanders campaign did something today that surprised me. The Sanders campaign has compared demands for Bernie's medical records to birtherism. Now, if you remember birtherism is the name of the racist ideology surrounding former President Barack Obama. This is when he was president. There were demands that stemmed from people saying that he was not an American. He needed to produce his birth certificate. And there was this whole hoopla about that. They felt that he was not an American. And they demanded he produce his birth certificate, while no one else has ever had to produce their birth certificate before. And there were claims on this because he was an African American, that's why this was happening. So this is the background of it being racist. And now we get to understanding, and I'm sure that everybody remembers that. So if you remember last year, Bernie Sanders had a heart attack. Okay. Next year, he's going to be 80 years old. Okay. And there have been naturally concern over his health. He had a heart attack on the campaign trail. Okay. So people were concerned about that. And up until very, very recently, Bernie Sanders was saying that he was going to release his medical records because there is concern. While he has been seeming to be energetic and fully recovered, people are still concerned. Whoever his vice presidential running mate is, this person could potentially become the president because this guy's 80 years old and he had a heart attack, right? So I'm not saying that anything, you can have a heart attack and move forward and life be fine. But you want to give people who are voting, all of the facts, and they're concerned with his health. He's been talking about, I'm going to release it a little while before the debates, before the Nevada caucus, before this, that, and he's pushing it back. Now he says he's not going to release anything else. He's not going to release anything, which makes people concerned. I'm concerned. A lot of people concerned. I mean, I already was concerned anyway. He looked like there was need for concern. This is a very stressful job, very stressful. And we want to be sure that the person that we vote for, as best as we can, that we have, we can make an informed decision as to who to cast the vote for. And the Bernie Sanders campaign saw fit to not only backtrack on releasing the medical records, but when asked about it, the campaign called it a smear and then compared it to birtherism. How is that the same thing? How is it even close? So where did they get this from? Now the campaign, the Sanders campaign's press secretary, a black lady named Brianna Joy Gray, said on CNN, let's get this quote, "I think the American people deserve to know exactly as much as every other candidate has released in this race currently and historically. And what you're seeing right now is really reminiscent of some of the smear, some of the skepticism campaigns that have been run against a lot of different candidates in the past, questioning where they're from, a lot of their lineage, etc., etc. So they're trying to, deflect And it's crazy that the press secretary just compares demands for his medical records. He had a heart attack. Okay? This is not an odd request. He had a heart attack. All right? So, transparency is very important when it comes to the health of candidates. Is it wrong that Trump refuses to release his health records? Yes. Is it wrong that Bernie Sanders is refusing to release his health records? Yes. It doesn't matter if it's a Democratic candidate or a Republican candidate or an independent or a Green Party or, any of the other parties. We need your full medical records. Full medical records. Bernie Sanders had no problems of releasing his full health records in 2016. And why was that? Because he didn't have a heart attack. Okay? There's something in these medical records that he's trying to hide. There's something in there that's fishy. So this abrupt change from this is the person that all he talks about is healthcare. We're gonna have a healthcare system, and we can't. Okay, we're talking about healthcare. Let's see if you are healthy. Okay, you know what I mean? And it's not crazy. So anyway, this is really fueling speculation that there's something in his health records worth hiding. Let's put him on the stand. Let's get a lie detector test. Bernie Sanders had a heart attack. It's not a conspiracy like birtherism. He had a heart attack. Okay, it's a proven fact that was confirmed by Senator Sanders and the campaign. You know what I mean? Republicans and Trump had a field day with Hillary getting dizzy with the flu at the 9/11 ceremony during the 2016 campaign. Imagine what they are going to do to Bernie Sanders, who had a heart attack, and he is hiding his medical records now. The best way for Bernie and his campaign to deal with this, because it's not going to go away, they're going to keep on poking at this, is to deal with this question directly. Release all the records. If they are not going to be transparent with the voters, it's not going to turn out well for him. It's going to hurt him and his campaign in the long run. So Bernie can either destroy things by trying to hide whatever's going on, and it's going to come out eventually. When it does come out, he's going to look like he looks, an 80-year-old man, almost 80 years old, trying to hide his health from the public. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back with more of The Diamond K Show after this.
Do you have a business, product, or event that you need to promote to men and women ages 23 to 44? If so, Radio on Fire can help you do it with one of our promo packages. Our broadcasts reach over 150,000 people per month. Sponsorship for one or all of our radio programs can include live mentions, social media posting, commercials, and more. Visit radioonfire.com/advertise to find out more about a promo package that fits your needs. Rates start as low as $50. If you want to reach men and women ages 23 to 44, log on now, radioonfire.com.
Mr. Bloomberg had policies in New York City of stop and frisk, which went after African American and Latino people in an outrageous way. That is not a way you're going to grow voter turnout.
I'd like to talk about who we're running against. A billionaire who calls women fat broads and horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg. Democrats are not going to win if we have a nominee who has a history of hiding his tax returns, of harassing harassing women and of supporting racist policies like redlining and stop and frisk. Democrats take a huge risk if we just substitute one arrogant billionaire for another.
I actually welcomed Mayor Bloomberg to the stage. I thought that he shouldn't be hiding behind his TV ads.
The mayor says that he has a great record, that he's done these wonderful things. Well, the fact of the matter is he has not managed his city very, very well when he was there. He didn't get a whole lot done. He had stop and frisk, throwing close to 5 million young black men up against the wall.
We could wake up 2 weeks from today, the day after Super Tuesday, and the only candidates left standing will be Bernie Sanders and Mike Bloomberg, the two most polarizing figures on this stage. Let's put forward somebody who's actually a Democrat. Look. We shouldn't have to choose between one candidate who wants to burn this party down and another candidate who wants to buy this party out.
Radio on Fire. So the debate happened, and I think that this was probably the most telling debate the Democrats have put together. Debate number 9, where we saw Mike Bloomberg, on the stage. And you know how sometimes, when something's advertised, before you actually see it, when you still have the allure of the unknown, things can be better, right? This is one of those cases. Bloomberg, in my opinion, made a bad showing for himself. It was not favorable at all. The former mayor of New York was, and it's not a surprise. He knew it was coming. Everybody knew it was coming. My dog knew it was coming. They were going to attack him. They were going to attack him on his record. They were going to bring up stop and frisk, bring up the numerous non-disclosure agreements, bring up the environment, the workplace, the different women that have complained over the years about the way that they were treated while they worked for Bloomberg or at Bloomberg's, be it his foundation, be it his company. He didn't have any good answer at all. Actually, his answers made things worse, okay? He didn't own anything. Well, I'm not going to say that owning things was the theme of the evening because nobody owned nothing, okay? If this is all we have against or standing in between 4 more years of Donald Trump, we might as well get ready for 4 more years of Donald Trump. I mean, these Democrats, they were, what's the word? I mean, they were, fought against each other, squabbled like siblings. But Donald Trump would mop the floor with any one of them. And that's not good. It's not good. Mayor Pete faced off with Bernie Sanders about the Bernie bros and Bernie supporters attacking the union workers online. We've talked about that. Vice President Joe Biden spoke about that. We know. And of course, in true Bernie fashion, he takes responsibility for absolutely nothing. Then he tried to call out Bloomberg. We've heard the Senator Sanders talk about people online, Russian bots, just anything. Well, people on my campaign were attacked also. Does not want to, take any responsibility. In one response, he disowns people from his campaign that speak negatively about others. And then on the other hand, he blamed Russia and said, well, it could have been Russia. The bots, online's a very scary place, that kind of stuff. And it was very politician-like. Mayor Pete tried to get him to take responsibility, as others did, but responsibility is not something that he's going to take. And we talked about his refusal to address the obvious elephant in the room, which is his health. And what did he do? Typical Bernie. He says, well, I have 2 stents, and Bloomberg, he has 2 stents. You know what I mean? They call that snitching in the hood, right? But regardless of that, of course, healthcare was a big part of the conversation. Joe claimed that he was the one, Joe Biden claimed that he was the one that got the votes for Obamacare. Obama came, man, and he was like, go get the votes, and he got the votes. And, of course, Obama probably will have a different view of that. Bloomberg claimed to be a fan of Obamacare. Joe Biden wanted to talk about how Bloomberg, who was a Republican at the time, or some kind of hybrid, said that it was a disgrace. And Bloomberg denies that. He also tried to explain stop and frisk terribly. He did a horrible job trying to explain stop and frisk. And we've heard him talk about that. He apologized, or talked to some clergy, he more so wanted to talk about the impact. He didn't want to talk about the specifics. And he, in true politician fashion, tried to defend, the reason why I did that is because I'm trying to bring down crime. And crime did go down, but, it's, just stumbling, bumbling. What's really strange to me is, how does a person acquire the kind of wealth that he has, but he's a bumbling, how does that even happen? I was speaking with Nikki about this, and I said, why doesn't he have passion? Why can't he speak about this in a way that, like if somebody hits your car, like, what are you doing? Why can't he talk like that? She feels as though he's not really motivated on this for the right reasons. And I guess I have to agree with that. I don't understand why, to hold the highest office, to be the most powerful person in the world, he doesn't have a sense of urgency. Because he's used to everything being given to him, I suppose, right? He's not used to having to fight for anything. So it's just like, he just feels, I'm supposed to just stand up here and, just talk like that. I don't know. But this is for the most powerful person. Whoever the president is the most powerful person in the world. Everybody pays attention to the U.S. president. And the women were fired up. At least Elizabeth Warren was fired up. She got the memo that her campaign finances is probably on E, and she got the memo, right? She's shaking, and she always wears this weird color. I don't understand her. I don't see her as the president. And this is not a sexist statement. I just don't see her as the president. It's not. And if you remember, maybe the last debate number 7, they had this thing where she claimed that Bernie said that a woman can't be the president. It's not that a woman can't be president. It's that you can't be president, right? Another woman, yeah, but not you. All right, Elizabeth Warren, not the one. However, she did kick ass in this debate. I'll say that. But that doesn't mean anybody gonna vote for her, okay? It just means you kick their ass in the debate, but you just make all of this exercise just makes it easier for Trump. Trump, while this is going on, he was holding a rally, and he says it doesn't matter which one of them wins because I can beat all of them, and that's pretty much true. So Amy Klobuchar looked shaky when speaking about a couple of things that a lot of people didn't know existed in her record, and she'll talk about how she's from the Midwest and blah 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 blah, right? But let's be clear that she prosecuted and gave a very lengthy, I believe, a life sentence to a 16-year-old black person. New evidence has come up and all this kind of stuff, and there were numerous police shooting unarmed black people. You remember all these things. She was in charge. She was the prosecutor. Didn't prosecute any police officers, and she did not take responsibility for that. So it was a grand jury and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just so we got to understand. Bloomberg did say one thing that made sense. He said if everybody up here is held accountable for their problems with civil rights and criminal justice, nobody would be on the stage. Everybody up here has issues, right? They all have issues. Trump has issues as well, and he can articulate things. And just, it's about the rebuttal. And some of these rebuttals are horrible. Bloomberg says he's going to bring out his full tax returns in a couple weeks. Bloomberg makes more money than all these people, plus Trump, all put together. So, we can give him a little bit of time for that. Doesn't matter. He ain't going to win. What difference does it make? He ain't going to win. But here's a quote from Bloomberg. He said that if we took everyone who was wrong at some point in their career on criminal justice, there would be nobody up here. Okay. I thought that was a pretty accurate statement. But all in all, the debate goes down. We see it. Bloomberg's on the stage. The others attack him, and he does not look good. He's going to continue to run commercials and all of that. The caucus is going to happen in Nevada this weekend. Ironically, this is where Bernie Sanders had his heart attack. Ironically, and maybe if he doesn't win, I don't know, he might have some heart trouble if he doesn't win. He's probably going to win the caucus, caucus in itself is just ridiculous. But that's what it is. Here's where we are. I predict that we're going to see a couple of people drop out after this. Tom Steyer is probably going to be one of them. He was not on the stage. The only candidate, ironically, that speaks about reparations. But such is life. You're listening to Diamond K Show, Radio on Fire. We're going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to speak more about this and several other issues that hit us for the day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow.